Mr. Lakshmi Narayan has served as the Additional Director General of Police in Mumbai. He is also an active politician. He is known for his impactful speeches and has interacted with more than 30 lakh youth. He was an active member of Lead India Foundation, which was started with the blessings of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Mr. Lakshmi Narayan has received the Indian Police Medal in 2006. He also has been awarded the Mahatma Gandhi Peace Prize by the Minority Commission of Maharashtra. He has also been conferred with the President's Police Medal for Distinguished Services on 26 January 2017. Please put your hands together for Mr. J.D. Lakshmi Narayan. Over to you, sir.
I must say one of the most dynamic officers of India is at Kanha Shanti Vanam. That is Mr. J.D. Lakshmi Narayanan. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Thank you very much. I'm extremely happy to be here because my Guru Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam ji said, start your day by meeting the future of the nation. So I'm extremely happy to be part of this function today because I'm meeting almost about 10,000 promising youth of this nation who have taken out 3 days of their valuable time to come here to be part of this International Youth Kindness Conference. I am extremely thankful to Daaji also, Shri Kamlesh Bhaiji Patel. His vision has brought you here. I definitely hope these 3 days of your being here is going to bring considerable change in you, in your thought process, the way you look at the nation, and also the responsibilities you have to carry out. Because we always talk about demographic dividend. This is the word which is being used profusely now. Demographic dividend, India is so lucky, and this is going to be there till 2040. We have just 17 years and almost 3 months more. These 17 years and 3 months are going to be very, very crucial for India. Because if you want this nation to be a superpower, if you want this nation to be super economic power, we have only 17 years and 3 months because of this demographic dividend. So let us make use of each and every day, every minute, every second towards this goal and try to improve our thought process and also thinking process. Definitely this Youth Kindness Conference is going to help you. And also the theme of this conference is Rising with Kindness. Rising with Kindness. So in my presentation, I would like to give emphasis upon what is kindness, how youth can be related to kindness, how kindness is going to bring change in your thinking process or the thought process. The time given to me is about half an hour. I'll try to stick to my timing, and also I think after this we are going to have a question answer session. So if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions and if you want to suggest something, you are most welcome. So with this, because the topic, as you said, a better you for a better India. So by the time you go out of this wonderful place, definitely you become a better person than you were, and in the process you make India much better nation. So I always say kindness is magic, and the advice is always think of this world to be a better when you leave than when you arrived. When you all have arrived here, what was India or what is India? After 2-3 days when you leave, that India should be different. That India should be different. That is the endeavor of all of us. I thank my parents, first of all, for giving me this birth in this wonderful nation called Bharat. I thank all my teachers for imparting knowledge to me so that I am able to stand in front of you and say few words. So these are the two people which we should never forget. Our parents and our teachers. I mean, it will be an interaction session. It is not going to be a one-way communication. I have put something on the screen. Can you tell me what this is? Hope you are able to see this. Yeah? These are Navarasas, the 9 rasas which you call. That means different way of expressions and different way of our behaviors. This is called Navarasas. So these are the Navarasas what you have. That is Sringara, Hasya, Karuna, Raudra, Veera, Bhayankara, Bhibhatsa, Adbhuta and Shanta. So these are the 9 Navarasas. Now, there is a great saint called Bhavabhuti. He said, Karuna is the only rasa. Karuna is the only rasa. Even though we have 9 rasas, Karuna is the only rasa. Karuna means kindness. So kindness is the only rasa. Because he said, Eko rasa karunam evam nimitta bedat. That means, if there is water in a tank, we call it as tank. If the water is there in the river, we call it as river. If the water is there in ocean, we call it ocean. But the thing is only water. In the same manner, even though you have 9 rasas, Karuna rasa is very, very important. That is, kindness is very, very important. That's why this conference is on kindness. That's why Daaji has rightly is organizing this conference at the right moment. So this is the great man, Bhavabhuti. So my first proposition is, even though there are 9 rasas, the important rasa is Karuna. Because if you take all religions, they always have talked about kindness. If you see Bible says, the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness and self-control. This is what Bible says. If you take Quran says, kind words and forgiveness are better than charity followed by injury. If you see Buddhism, it also says the same thing. Don't be impressed by money, followers, degrees and titles. Be impressed by kindness and integrity. That is what Buddhism says. If you follow Mahavira, he says, non-violence and kindness to living beings is kindness to oneself. And finally, what Guru Granth Sahib says, kindness as their deity and forgiveness as their chanting beads, they are the most excellent people. So why I have put is, all the religions, they only talk about kindness. That's why Bhavabhuti said, even though there are 9 rasas, which is very, very important rasa, and the only one rasa is Karuna rasa, that is kindness. Now, there was a rishi. He was going to a river Tamasa for his morning prayers. Suddenly he sees 2 birds sitting on a branch. And suddenly one hunter comes and he takes his arrow and he kills the male bird. And the bird falls on the ground and the female bird starts weeping. So that rishi was in utter kindness. He sees this and he utters a sloka. Ma nishada pratistamtya magama shashvate samaha yat krauncha miduna tekam avadikaya mohitam. He says this. This particular shloka is the first sloka in the entire universe. And after that, this particular rishi writes a very big epic called Ramayana. Who is this Rishi? Who is this Rishi? Who is this Rishi? Yes, Valmiki. So how Ramayana came into being? Because of kindness. So kindness is very, very important. So this is the incident which has provoked this great Rishi Valmiki to write Ramayana. I'll tell you another situation. A helpless lady called one young person and requested him for help and save her respect and prestige. A young woman called one young person and requested him for help and save her respect and prestige. That young person reacted and immediately protected the lady because of the kindness he had in him. Then this person did not stop with it. He ensured that all the people responsible for that incident were killed. Not only the people responsible, but also the people who supported the incident. So imagine this situation. A young lady requesting a young person and telling about her condition. This man develops a lot of kindness. He comes there and rescues her. He did not stop with it. He ensures that all the persons who are involved in this particular act are killed. Not only the persons, but also the people who have supported this act. Can you name this lady and this young man? Draupadi and Krishna. And the whole Mahabharata has because of this kindness of Krishna and also a request by this lady. So this is what has happened. In the process of this enlightenment, he has given the youth of the entire world how to develop the personality and how one should perform the duties and the decision making, how it should be done. How he could do it? Through Bhagavad-Gita. So, Mahabharata, Bhagavad-Gita, the root is kindness again. Kindness, Karuna. So that's why Bhavabhuti said, Karuna Rasa is the most important rasa of all the 9 rasas. So we also need to inculcate this Karuna or kindness so that things will follow. And a young person, another situation, with all luxuries and enjoyment of life, once he comes out of his palace and saw an old man, a deceased person, suffering people and worrying people, he immediately thought the world is full of miseries. Then he thought, what can I do for this? He renounced everything and created and gave a great message to the world, come out of worry. Come out of worry. And so many people followed him. Can you name this young person? Gautama Buddha. Again, it is the kindness. Again, it is the kindness which dominated. So here, earlier, Karuna Rasa has transformed into Raudra and Bhibhatsa in Mahabharata. Here in Buddhism, the Karuna has taken the shape of Shastra, that is peace and tranquility. Now, a young boy of 12 years, because I am always talking about youth and young people, how they created, how they transformed the world. A young boy of 12 years from Kerala, I heard that there are many people, youth who have come from Kerala, had gone for alms as part of the custom, because Bhikshatana it is called. Bhikshatana it is called. So their custom is to go to 3 houses and ask for Bhiksha. So when he goes to a house, there was a lady. She was in utter poverty. She could not come out of the house. Even though she could not come out of the house and she was in utter poverty, she gives him a amla. And then this boy immediately calls goddess Lakshmi and asks her why this lady is in poverty. Then goddess Lakshmi says, this lady has committed so much of sin in the previous births. That's why she is in this utter poverty. Then this person, boy, says, I accept that she has done sin in the previous birth. But now, despite poverty, she left. She felt it as a duty and gave me this amla. So give her relief immediately. Then Lakshmi showers golden avlas. And this is called Kanakadhara. There is a stotra called Kanakadhara stotra. Who is this gentleman? Who is this gentleman? Who is this young boy of 12 years? He is Adi Shankara. Again a young person like you. And because of the karuna, because of the kindness, he saw to it that the Kanaka Varsha is there. Then Shankara has enlightened the society with his knowledge. His speeches, his literature inspired large number of people. Again, what is the root cause of this? It is the karuna, it is the kindness. Then I tell about another gentleman. This gentleman has said, how to assess whether you are a human being or not. He has kept a calculation before you, how to judge whether you are a human being or not. He says, whenever you have seen an incident or heard or read about an incident, has it touched your heart? Have you shed tears about the incident? If it is so, did you have any plan to redress that? Have you jumped into action? If you see something or hear something or read something and shed tears and prepare a plan of action and actually jump into the action, then only you are a human being. Otherwise, we are seeing in the social media an incident in Rajasthan. An accident takes place and some gangster comes and shoots the husband. The poor lady is requesting people to stop their vehicles and help. But nobody was helping her. Everybody was taking selfies. Everybody was taking videos. Then this gentleman said, he is not a human being. Can you name who is this? Can you name who has said this? An young person like you. An youngster like you. Who lived for only 39 years. Who lived for only 39 years. Any name? It is Swami Vivekananda. It is Swami Vivekananda. So he decides which qualities makes you a person. Just being born is not important. Whether you are reacting to the situations is very, very important, he said. So here again, Karuna has converted into Veera, that is courage. Can you identify these two gentlemen? Rabindranath Tagore and Mahatma Gandhi. Now I tell you about a conversation that has taken place between these two in Shantiniketan in the year 1915. इन दोनों के बीच में कुछ बातें हुए हैं. ये बातों के बारे में मैं आपको बोलना चाहता हूं. So let me tell you what is the conversation. Once Rabindranath Tagore on this day asked Gandhi, Gandhiji, you are very, very unromantic, he says. Because if you see, Shantivan is also like this only. Beautiful place. There are so many gardens, so many flowers, so many waterfalls. Now, Rabindranath Tagore asks Gandhi, when in the early dawn in the morning, does it not fill your heart with joy to see this reddish glow? When the birds sing, does not your heart thrill with its divine music? When the rose opens its petals and blooms in the garden, does its sight not bring cheer to your heart? These are the questions asked, because whatever is happening in Shantiniketan, Gandhiji remained in the same face. There is no smile or there is no appreciation in his face. Then Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore said, you are the most unromantic person I have seen in my life. Then see the reply of Gandhi. Gandhiji replied, Gurudev, I am not so dumb or insensitive as not to be moved by the beauty of the rose, or the morning rays of the sun, or the divine music of the birds. But what can I do? When shall I see the red tint of the rose on the cheeks of hungry, naked millions of my people? He asks, you are seeing the flower here, but I want these flowers to be blown into the hungry people of my country. When shall I hear the sweet and melodious song of the birds in the places of their agonizing sighs? When will such music come out of their soul? When will that day come when the light of the morning sun will illuminate the heart of the common man in India? When will I see its luster and brightness on his or her face? So you are talking about romanticism. You are talking about romantic things, birds, the flowers and the water. But I want my people, my country people, to be out of this poverty. And they should be happy. Then Rabindranath Tagore gives a title to Gandhiji. What is the title given by him? He calls him Mahatma. So that is the day on which Gandhi has become Mahatma Gandhi. Why? Because of this Karuna Rasa again, kindness again. He doesn't want to see the beauty around, but he wants to have the solution to the problems of the people. Because most of the people, I think they are from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana here. So for them, this face is very, very familiar. This man's name is Yellapragada Subbarao, the miracle man of medicine he is called. Again, he is an young man. He wanted to become a saint, but he was prevented by the another saint and says, because he was a doctor, go and solve the problems of the society. He lost two of his brothers and his sister-in-law for a disease called tropical sprue. Then, after seeing these people dying in front of him, this man develops kindness. After developing kindness, he did not weep in front of their dead bodies. He came out with 24 innovations. He came with 24 innovations, and most of the anti-cancer drugs which you are using now, they are all invented by this great person. So here again, Karuna, kindness has transformed into innovation. So if you have kindness or Karuna in you, it manifests into different forms. Valmiki, it became in another format. Krishna, it became in another format. Gautama Buddha, it has come out. Shankara, it has come in another dimension. Then we have seen Yellapragada Subbarao. This is how it is. That's why one great poet said, Telugu వాళ్ళ కోసం ద్రవించి ప్రవహించాలే కానీ మనిషికి మించిన నది లేదు అంటాడు. అంటే ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ మీన్స్, if you melt, if a human being melts, there is no other river comparable to a human being. So what you need to do is, you need to melt. When can you melt? If you develop the quality of kindness. If you can develop kindness, you can melt, and then you can become a river, and you can help so much of people, so many people with your kindness. Then, another interaction I'll ask you. When we got independence, we had 36 crores of population, out of which 30% of the population was not getting even one square meal. After thousands years of looting and 200 years of slavery has brought to us such a situation. People were dying due to famines. One young gentleman saw these famines, saw so many people dying, and he developed kindness. Karuna Rasa has come and he has melted as a river, and he came out with a revolution that now made India self-sufficient in food grains. See, the origin for this is again Karuna. Seeing so many people dying, he developed that Karuna Rasa, and he came up with a revolution which now makes India as self-sufficient in food grains. Can you name this person? He is M.S. Swaminathan, the man behind the Green Revolution. Now we are saying we are ready to supply grains to 160 nations. From famine, we have come to this stage because of the kindness of this gentleman called M.S. Swaminathan. There is another person who saw so many babies dying because of non-availability of milk. There was no milk. And somebody commented in England, he says, the milk produced in India is worse than the drainage water of England. A British fellow says, the milk produced in India is worse than the drainage water that flows in the gutters of London. This man got offended. And on one side, he got this karuna because of so many babies dying. On the other side, there is another person who is commenting about my mother nation, India. So he comes out. He goes to Gujarat, he goes to Anand, and he established milk cooperatives, and he comes up with the white revolution. Now India is the largest producer of milk in the world. See what is the change. Children dying of milk, now self-sufficiency in the milk. Why? Because of the kindness of one person by name, Dr. Varghese Kurian, the milkman of India. Why I am giving all these examples is that the only one quality which has brought all these changes. What is that quality? The kindness or the karuna. So if you also can imbibe this karuna or kindness, then your approach is going to change. The way you are going to look at this nation is going to change, and India is going to prosper. So that is the purpose of this conference, to inculcate the habit of karuna or kindness in all of you. Friends, start thinking. Develop kindness in this world. Kindness is not just giving a small thing, whatever you are having. That is a small aspect of it. Today, the youth of this country, we are all elderly people. We are all waiting in front of the gate of this Kanha Ashram, waiting for all of you to come out with the quality of kindness or karuna in you and serve the society. Today, the youth of this country requires a serious, deep kindness, and you should worry about the problems and you should bring solutions. A youth should not criticize. A person who criticizes, he can't call himself a youth. What is youth? A person who provides solution. So don't criticize. Always you provide solution. And now comes the term of my guru, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Dr. Abdul Kalam was an engineer. He was a space engineer. He was a missile man. Once he goes to a famous medical institution here called the Nizam Institute of Medical Sciences, called NIMS. There he finds a boy just got operated for polio, and that boy was walking in the corridor very painfully. Then Dr. Kalam asked this boy, what happened to you? The boy says, I got operated, मुझे तो सर्जरी हो गया है, जो कैलिपर्स मुझे पहना दिया है उसका वजन है 3.5 किलो. 3.5 kilos of calipers I am weighing, and I am finding it very difficult to walk. Then this man, of course, kindness is in abundance in Dr. Kalam. Immediately he thinks about this boy and the calipers weighing 3.5 kilos. Immediately he remembers a product that is lying waste in DRDO laboratories, that is titanium oxide. It is a waste product that is available. Within 2 weeks, he prepares a calipers weighing only 750 grams and brings it and puts on the boy's leg. That is because of the kindness. That is because of the kindness. Dr. Kalam was not an engineer. He was a spaceman and he was a missile man. He was not a doctor also. But what provided the solution is his concern and kindness. Kindness of Kalam has resulted into a low-weight caliper. So this is the power of kindness. This is the power of kindness. So you all should adopt, or you all should inculcate the habit of kindness. Another thing, he invented another thing called the Kalam Raju stent. heart stunts, That time it was costing 1,50,000. Again he became kind. How can a poor person can afford 1,50,000 for a stunt? He and Somarazu, the famous doctor of Care Hospital, they came together. They discovered or they invented a new stunt which was costing only 25,000. 150 lakhs to 25,000. The reason behind it is the kindness. So kindness has produced a innovation stunt. Now, most of the people from Telangana, they may be recognizing this gentleman. Anybody? He is my dear friend. His name is Chintakindi Mallesham. And what he is receiving is an award from Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and also he was given Padma Shri. For what? He is from a weaver community. His parents were spending almost 2 days to weave a Pochampalli sadi. The amount of pain and amount of suffering they were undergoing, he could not tolerate. He developed kindness. And then he fought for 10 years. He studied all the electronic circuits. All the electronic circuits books were available in English. He brought the books in English. He is only 7th standard pass. He brought a English Telugu dictionary. He translated all these books into Telugu. He created his own electronic circuits. After 10 years, he came out with a machine called Lakshmi Asu machine. In 3 hours, you can weave a Pochampalli sadi. His parents got totally relieved. His parents got totally relieved. The whole community got totally relieved. The reason for this is kindness. Again, Karuna Rasa. Karuna Rasa brought change in this entire society. So, inculcate the habit of Karuna Rasa. Again, I'll show you a boy. I don't know how many of you have come from district called Chittoor in Andhra Pradesh. Anybody? From Chittoor of Andhra Pradesh? This boy his name is Pavan. He is from a village called Palmanir. He has now 39 inventions with him. Only 7th pass he is. The main reason for his 39 innovations are Karuna, kindness. Because he saw so many farmers dying because of snake bite. Because many of you are from the farming community. I am also a farmer. I am doing farmer in 12 acres of land. I know what is the plight of the farmers. Every day morning they have to go and they have to switch on the motor to release water to the fields. So many snake bite incidents were happening. One of his relative also died. Then this boy developed Karuna, and he, with his knowledge, he invented a mechanism wherein you need not have to go to the field, but with your mobile phone, you can switch on the motor. So he prevented so many deaths of farmers. Again, the reason is Karuna, kindness. Again, the reason is Karuna. If you go to Chittoor district, which is bordering Karnataka, so many elephants come and they destroy the fields. Now, what farmers started doing? They started putting electrical fence. And one of the young baby elephant got and electrocuted and it died. This was seen by this boy called Pavan. He developed a lot of kindness for this baby elephant. Then he started thinking how you can prevent the elephants coming and destroying the fields without the electric fence. Then he started doing research. Then he came out with a solution. Elephants are afraid of honeybee sound. Elephants are afraid of honeybee sound. So what he did, he recorded the sound of honeybee and he put it in a CD and gave it to all the farmers. The farmers put that CD in their CD players with a small mouthpiece like this or a loudspeaker like that. So whenever elephants used to come, they used to just press the button. The honeybee sounds used to come and elephants used to run away. See, The reason is the kindness in this boy called Pavan after seeing the death of a baby elephant. So kindness has so much of power. Kindness has so much of power, my dear young man. So develop the habit of kindness. That's why Daaji has said this conference. It is a conference for developing kindness or karuna in you. So dear friends, what I have talked so far is both about the past and also about the present. What made these people think like that? What made them to innovate? What made them to react is kindness and concern. Youth means a combination of action and reaction. We are all celebrating what now? Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. There are so many problems in this nation. We are all looking at you. We are all looking at you for solutions. We all have become old people now. Now we are looking at young people for solutions. There are so many problems in the villages. Kindly go to the villages. Interact with the farmers. Find out their problems. Be sympathetic them, be empathetic them, and develop habit of kindness, and then solutions will come. The purpose of this conference is to see that you have the quality of kindness and thereby you provide the solutions. Then, we are showing so much of kindness to our pets because I stay in Hyderabad. Lot of people give a lot of love to their pets. They treat them very well. I am very happy for that. Are we showing the same kindness and concern towards the nature? Just think about it. Are we showing the same care and concern towards the nature? Are we reacting when somebody is destroying our forests? Is nature furious towards you, or it is because of the cruelty towards the nature the floods are coming every now and then? But here is a man who has brought forests back in 1,350 acres single-handedly. See, there is a person. He has seen so many forests disappearing. Single-handedly, he developed a full-fledged forest in 1,350 acres in Assam. Can you name this gentleman? Can you name this gentleman? The moment you saw a film star, you said he is Hrithik Roshan. And that lady, who was the heroine? What is the name? Because I don't see movies much. What is the name of the heroine? Katrina Kaif. Yeah, Katrina Kaif. We all know Hrithik Roshan and we all know Katrina Kaifs. But we don't know this great gentleman called Jadav Malai Payang of Assam. Padma Shri Jadav Malai Payang. Single-handedly he brought 1,350 acres of natural forest in Assam. He is the man who got award from my guru, and he is the man who got Padma Shri from the Rashtrapati. See, these are the people. Why? Because he developed karuna, kindness in him. Because forest is dwindling. Forest is disappearing. So karuna appeared in him and kindness appeared in him, and single-handedly you did. Because many people think, is it possible for me? Whether I can do alone? Here is the example. Here is the example. Alone what he can do. I don't know how many people of you are from Bihar, Jharkhand. There was one person called Dasharad Manji. Dasharad Manji, 22 years, he has taken a hammer and a chisel, and he chiseled a mountain, and he created a way for his wife to go. Dasharad Manji. There is a film called Manji. See such type of movies. See such type of movies. They give you a lot of encouragement. Then finally, one young man read somewhere, if we continue to exploit our water resources, then a time will come we will face a major global water scarcity and water wars will follow it. One young man like you. Then he started working in Rajasthan. He started building so many check dams. He got Raman Magsaysay award. And he did so much of conservation and he became the waterman of India. He became the waterman of India. Name this man. Rajendra Singh. Fortunately, I think he is coming to this program. Waterman of India is going to come to this program. He was a young man like you. He was a young man like you sitting in the audience some time back. Now he is coming as a speaker to you because of the Karuna Rasa which he developed. He saw water depleting. He saw people suffering. Then he changed himself and he said, it is my duty to ensure that water is there. So he became the waterman of India. So much of potential Karuna has, so much of potential kindness has. So my dear friends, please develop the habit of Karuna or inculcate the habit of Karuna. This is what India always thinks. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani paschyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhaga bhave. This is India. India never wants suffering to anyone. This is the culture of India. So if you want to do that, what you need to do? Develop the kindness. Then Swami Vivekananda said, so long as even a single dog in my country is without food, my whole religion will be to feed it. So feed these hungry people. So develop the habit of kindness or Karuna Rasa. So many people are suffering because of non-availability of blood, especially the thalassemia patients. If you develop Karuna or kindness, my request to all of you is, donate 1 unit of blood on your birthday. Donate 1 unit of blood on your birthday. See how many units of blood will be available in this nation. This is what is developing Karuna. Then, can youth demand kindness? I have been talking about kindness. Can you demand kindness? You want somebody to be kind towards you? You want somebody kind towards you, or you want to be kind towards somebody? I want an answer from you. You have to be kind towards somebody. You should not seek kindness from somebody. You should not seek kindness from your professor to pass the examination. You have to show your ability. You have to show your ability. Don't depend on your professor. Let your competence open the doors and not somebody's kindness. Then finally, I'll try to finish. What is kindness? So far we have talked about kindness. What is kindness? No greed, no comparison, running in your own space, cheering for all others, always build others up to the best of your ability, treating everyone that you would like for yourself. Kindness spreads like virus. When you do good to one, that person does better to those they come in contact with him. This is a very infectious disease. Not like virus is also, COVID is also an infectious disease, but we are tying mask for that. But for kindness, you should not. You should not tie a mask. Develop kindness in you. Then you may ask, sir, what are the benefits of being kind? What are the benefits of being kind? There won't be any stress. Just now a class has been taken for you. If you develop the habit of kindness, there will be no stress, there will be no worry, there will be no anger, there is no disturbance. You will get a good sleep, no bad dreams. You will be liked by humans and non-humans equally. Your face looks brighter. Develop Karuna, and after 1 year, see your face. There will be huge change in your face, complexion also. You need not have to go to any beauticians. Just develop the habit of Karuna. Your face becomes so bright and good. Heart becomes beautiful. And one can die unconfused. There is a lot of confusion when we die. Once you develop the habit of Karuna, you can die unconfused. And finally, what is the kindness and what is the impact on your personality? Because there are so many personality development courses here. You read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People written by Stephen Covey. You read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. But you need not have to have 7 habits. You need to have only 1 habit. What is that? Karuna, kindness. What happens? No matter how educated, talented, rich or cool you believe you are, how you treat people ultimately tells what you are. He was asking, who am I? He was asking, write down, who am I? Your reply should be, I am a person with kindness. That is period. That is the answer to that question. I am a person with kindness. That serves all the purposes. That serves all the purposes. So, tomorrow, if again you ask him, who are you? Tell me I am a person with kindness. There is lot of karuna rasa in me and I am flowing like a river. I am flowing like a river and I am melting like a river and I am flowing like a river. Who you are is measured by how you make others feel. He was also asking this question. Who you are. So tomorrow you tell the answer. I am measured by how I make others feel. Then your words, your presence, and you can make a difference. You can make a difference provided you develop or inculcate the habit of karuna. If you are a doctor, you should see the pulse. There was one doctor, I think, who was answering. She was interested, she said she is interested in delivering babies. That's a wonderful answer. So if you are a doctor, you should see the pulse. You should not see the purse. So when you will not see the purse, when you develop the habit of karuna, then you become a great doctor. If you are an engineer, your construction should be stay for hundreds of years. There should be no corruption. How it is possible? If you have the feeling of karuna. We are talking about politics. We are all talking about politics. We always criticize politics. But when we go and cast the vote, you don't bother about the nation. You don't bother about the type of people you are electing and you are sending into the assemblies and parliaments. Develop the habit of karuna, then your finger will go to the right person on the electronic voting machine. It will go to all other factors will go away. Whether this man is going to serve the society or not, that is the only criteria which you are going to adopt. Not the caste, creed, money or anything. It is only the kindness in that person, then the EVMs will be there. A country can become superpower not because of just weapons or the economics. A country becomes superpower with the superhuman beings. A country can become superpower if it can have the people of superhuman beings. If you become superhuman being, the country is going to be superhuman being. How you can become a super being? Human being, develop the habit of kindness. Inculcate the habit of karuna. So my humble request, my dear friends, develop the habit of karuna or kindness. There will be innovations. There will be many things in this nation and India will become a developed nation. I'll tell you a small quote of my guru and I'll complete. Dr. Kalam, he always used to tell us, Lakshmi Narayana, I am going to so many schools and colleges. I see so many youngsters wearing t-shirts. On these t-shirts it is written New York. On this t-shirt it is written London. On this t-shirt it is written Los Angeles. He says, I want to develop India in such a manner that citizens of New York, citizens of London, people of Los Angeles, they wear t-shirt with Bharat India written on it, with Bharat written India on it. This is what is superhuman being. This is superhuman being. So develop the habit of karuna. Develop the habit of karuna. Make the nation great. Make the nation great. It is only possible by the youth. So I am extremely happy to be part of this wonderful session and I am very happy to share my feelings and let us hope these 3 days are going to bring lot of change in your thinking process. You go to the quality of karuna and make this nation, you become a super human being and you make the nation superpower. Thank you very much. Jai Hind. Bharat Mata ki Jai. Bharat Mata ki. Bharat Mata ki. Bharat Mata ki. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir, for that electrifying speech. I would now like to request Mr. Madhusudan Reddy and Dr. R. Chandran to jointly felicitate Mr. J.D. Lakshmi Narayan.
So I think it was one of the best speeches today. I mean, the good beginning of the summit with one excellent speaker we had today. Thank you so much for encouraging the youth. And you really were able to create that sensation, that vibrations in the student, which could actually get them into a positive mode of thinking that they really need to be kind. Thank you for your kind times and traveling all the way from Delhi to be here with us, to be here with our students. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
How about another round of management games? We would like to welcome the management to come in.
Good evening, everybody. Can I get a greeting in return, please? A little higher. Okay, so let's start with the management games. Now, my name is Shreya, and I'm from Pillai College. You might be asking why we are playing such games since morning. This is because it is important to refresh our mind and enhance your, your skills and everything. Hello. Yeah, so let's start. We're going to play a very simple game. It's called Chidiya Ud. You've been playing this game since you were kids, I'm pretty sure. So basically, I'll be taking names of birds. You have to raise your hands as high as possible. Can you do that for me now, please? Yes, right. And if it's an animal, you don't raise your hands, okay? So let's start. Pigeon, peacock, parrot, snail, mosquito, dragonfly, frog, ostrich, flamingo, blackbuck, reindeer, hyena, bat, fox, camel, kiwi, woodpecker, butterfly, honeybee, human. Humans do fly, guys, airplanes. Okay, one last time. We'll go again, okay, from the top. Pigeon, peacock, flamingo, ibex, reindeer, blackbuck, cow, giraffe, woodpecker, kiwi, butterfly. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day.
Heartfulness has an initiative for helping youth in need of mental support and health. Please welcome Voice That Cares.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible till the end? Wonderful. Good evening, and my name is Sunita. I'm presenting here for Voice That Care on behalf of my entire team. So Voice That Care is a mental health helpline. We started last year with Daaji's vision, seeing the situation under COVID and pandemic, how it has affected everybody's mental health. And then that is when the rise of mental health support and Voice That Care arises. And last year in the month of June, Daaji launches this helpline. The vision was giving support and mental health care people who might come up with the distress after pandemic. But what we are seeing today is, apart from COVID, lot of mental health problems that are coming up. And our helpline, can I see the slides, please? Can we have the presentation, please? Yes. So this is our helpline number, which is available from morning 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. for the support nationwide in free telecounseling services. Can we have the next slide, please? So one more major reason why this came in existence, and to our surprise, not only COVID, but other things that come into existence and started coming up. In India, we have lot of lack, or you can say, still not enough awareness about the mental health, not counted as a problem. And over to that, as much we have noticed awareness, moreover than awareness, the services available is even less. These are the graphs which shows how much is the requirement and what availability we have. And that is when the teleservices which is available come to an existence is the biggest support that people has found with Voice That Care. Can I have the next slide, please? These are the graphs which shows what category calls we are seeing. And to everybody's surprise, 65% calls come from the age group of 18 to 30, which we are registering as youth today. And that is what we are trying to address via psychosocial first aid support on our helpline. Next slide, please. We are receiving on an average 100 plus calls a day in our Hindi, English and Telugu helpline. We have reached more than 9,000 unique callers for the different issues related to mental health. We are providing support via our helpline, but at the same time, if you say, I am fine, I don't need support, but we still want you to support others, we provide psychosocial first aid training to the people who are interested to volunteer and serve to the community. We are here to invite volunteers. We are here, invite colleges and interns, and we are also here to whomever needs the support. We are always welcoming in one way or other way. Our table is available back on the right outside the meditation hall. If you need any support, any queries, any details, please see us there. Thank you so much. See?
So we have our next star speaker here. We have Joshna Chinnappa here, the star squash player of the world. Please welcome her with a big round of applause. Joshna Chinnappa. तालियां बजती रहनी चाहिए. The clap must be on. She has made India proud at many occasions in many competitions all over the world. Welcome, Joshna. And may I request the moderator and the interview. So the request is all those students who are standing outside in the corridors are requested to kindly assemble in the hall immediately, please. All the students who are standing to please assemble in the hall immediately, please. All the students, सारे बच्चे जो कॉरिडोर में खड़े हैं उनसे रिक्वेस्ट है जल्दी से जल्दी आके चेयर्स पे बैठ जाए. हमारे पास एक बहुत बड़ी स्टार प्लेयर है जोशना चिन्नप्पा जिसको सुनने में बहुत मज़ा आएगा. It will be very interesting to listen to her success story. And we have beautiful and gorgeous Vandana Kothari here, who is going to interview her today and going to have a chat with Joshna. And also, Joshna is going to come down and she's going to, if you want to ask her questions, she will be more than happy to take questions also. So stay tuned. Over to Vandana.
Firstly, a very warm welcome here.
Thank
and
you.
We are very grateful for you to make your time and join us here. And yeah, I guess to begin our conversation, this highly anticipated conversation that I bet everyone's really looked forward to. To start off, my first question to you would be, you have won countless matches, won so many tournaments, medals, and we could really say that you are a super achiever. But which has been your most memorable win and why?
Firstly, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here. So to answer your question, I've never really looked back and thought that I had like one memorable event, because every tournament I've played, every victory I've had has been really special and difficult in its own way. But probably the one victory that comes to my mind was probably winning the gold in Glasgow at the Commonwealth Games in the doubles with Deepika. That was probably my most memorable, because it was the first time squash won a medal at the Commonwealth Games, and that too a gold. So it really helped, the profile of the sport. It helped all the squash players get that, that extra recognition, because you're always fighting against sports like cricket and badminton and all of that. So it was just really nice to have squash put up there on the map.
Wow, that's great. And yeah, I totally agree. Wow. Just to carry on with that, you've been in the sport for so many years. Is there any moment in the sport that still gives you butterflies, like maybe a match point or something? Is there something that still makes you nervous? I think we'll really be able to connect with that,
So I get nerves before every match, and I think for me, anytime I'm playing in India is always like extra nerves, because you have the crowd support, you have home support, you have your friends, your family that come to watch you play. So for me, there was this one tournament that I was playing, the Asian Championships, and it was in Chennai in, I don't know if you know much of Chennai, but at the Express Avenue Mall. And they put the squash court in the middle of the mall over there. So every day when I would come in for my match, I would see like hundreds of thousands of people just gathering to watch the game. And I would get so tense seeing these people. So I would disappear somewhere in the mall where nobody knew where I was. I would go warm up, and I would literally get on court like 5 minutes before I was supposed to come on court. I would get on court, play my match, and leave, just because I couldn't handle seeing so many people there, and the pressure and the expectations, and your friends are there. And I ended up winning that tournament, and I think the only reason I could win it was because I was able to, handle my nerves and pressure really well for that tournament.
Yeah, I think that's something that we can all connect with. But tell me something, does it get easier, like the nerves that you're talking about? Like you've been doing this for so long, right? Like you're saying, seeing such a large crowd supporting you, does it ever get easier, or?
I don't think it ever gets easier, because the more effort and work you put in, the more expectations you have out of yourself in a funny way. So I think you expect more out of yourself, and you're far more disappointed when it doesn't, go your way in matches. But I think it's just important to, put in that work with a really good team, a coach, a fitness trainer, whatever it be, and just kind of go do your best on court, because that's all you can really do.
Yeah, I guess that's all in our control, right? That's the only thing. So I wouldn't want to generalize this, but most people play sports as a hobby or for recreation. But you're a sportswoman. So what do you do as a hobby or as a recreation?
So I love playing all other sports except squash, to be honest. Like, I actually enjoy playing tennis, badminton. I tried a little bit of hockey, but it was very difficult, and I was so scared I was going to get smacked by the hockey stick. But like I said, like I just enjoy exploring other sports like TT. Like I feel like squash sometimes I do because it's my job, but like I genuinely love playing sports like badminton and tennis and all of that.
Would you say that that's the case because the pressure's off? Like, would you feel like it's more relaxing? Then you don't have to be like, why do you think there's a difference?
Actually, when I play other sports for like club events and stuff like that, like I'm very competitive because I want to win in those sports. In fact, when I play squash at the club level events, I'm not so bothered. But for some reason, when you play like other sports, like I feel like there's more like you want to play better and win. But having said that, I also just enjoy it because, like you said, there's no pressure, there's no competition as well.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense. I guess this question, the one I'm going to ask you next, is something that all of us are going to connect with. So you're a professional athlete and you probably stick by a very rigid diet, you know. So as a human, I mean, I bet you, sorry, you might be getting cravings for certain things. And so how do you stay disciplined, you know, when you get, like, you see French fries and you're really tempted to eat it. So how do you stay disciplined?
So it's really not easy. You know, I love chocolate. I live for chocolate. I live for junk food. But having said that, like you said, you know, as a top athlete, you have to worry about your diet. You have to eat correctly. And I do have 1 or 2 days, you know, in the month or the week where I do cheat a little bit. But for the most part, like, I tend to take vows where I don't eat chocolate because I know if I take a vow, I'll stick to it. But other than that, it's really, really hard. Like, there's no hard and fast rule about how to go about it. Like, if you're trying to achieve something, you're trying to work hard, get fit, you have to cut down all the sugar and chocolate and the fried stuff from your food.
Yeah, that's really tough, though, I know. So, you know, in any sport, people would experience highs and lows. So I'm intrigued to know, how do you deal with that? Like, a lot of people, a lot of sportsmen and women, they're judged by their last performance. So how do you deal with that judgment, and what do you do about it?
You know, as an athlete, you do have incredible highs and very, very low lows. And I think that's for like a lot of other fields as well, but especially in sport because week in, week out, you're competing, you're winning, you're losing. And yeah, it's extremely hard, but you have to kind of pick up yourself and, you know, not get too caught up in your failure where you're not able to move past it. Like, I mean, having said that, there are days where I don't want to get out of bed, you know, I'm upset, I'm crying, or whatever it is. But then I take it day by day. I kind of, you know, get back into the gym slowly. You know, I start to feel a little better physically. And then the motivation comes back to, you know, push my body harder. And then I set new targets, new goals for myself. And then, yeah, then it gets better. And then you lose one more match. And then you go back into that whole cycle of, you know, what did I do wrong and all of that. So I think it's important to stay positive. But having said that, it's very important to have someone you can talk to, who you can trust. I think that's very important, to have people around you that you trust and who genuinely want you to do well.
Wow, that was really insightful. I guess what you're trying to say, it's important to have a confidant who you can talk to, share things with, yeah, to just get it off your shoulder, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can imagine. Just some time back, we were just talking about how you have been a heartfulness practitioner for the past year. So how has meditation helped you, you know, cope with stress or like certain moments in your career? Could you share that with us? How has this helped you?
So I kind of started Heartfulness kind of by accident. I was going through some stuff in my life with my sport, and I was like, I needed something to kind of get me back on track. So I was like, okay, I really want to try this. So I had my friend Ritz, she's here actually, and she was like, you know, let's do a session. And, you know, I kind of took it from there. I really enjoyed that session. And I was in America at the time, you know, when this was happening. So she was in India and I was in America and she was doing this session with me. And it just made me feel really good after that first session. And I was like, I want to explore this a little bit more and see where I can go with this. And that's how it started. That's how we started doing more sessions. And then I started trying to do it on my own a little bit. Like I said, just experimenting, seeing how I feel with this. And of course, I have meditated in the past before, but now it's obviously so much more consistent because I know what I'm doing. I know there's someone helping me, get clearer in my mind with my thoughts. And I think that has really helped with my game because it's so easy to get influenced by the external things that happen in our lives. And I think to be able to meditate really centers you and gives you that direction and focus to achieve things at the highest capacity.
Yeah, I kind of resonate with what you just said because, yeah, it's even in my academic life, right? We're all undergoing so much stress. It's so important to center ourselves and just think it through and not get so affected by our external lives. And I guess meditation really helps with that. That's true, yeah. So in your career, you've had the full support of your family, there are a lot of parents out there, like we just want your suggestion or advice as to this. There are a lot of parents who are still apprehensive about letting their kids choose a sport as their full-time profession. So what would your advice or suggestion would be to that?
I think that's a difficult one because I understand that parents in India are very pro-academics for their child. Fortunately, in my house, academics was important, but I had told my parents that squash was going to be my career pretty earlier on in life. But it was important to my mom that I finish school, I finish college, and at the same time, I was still playing squash and I was still playing tournaments. So I think it's very important for parents to encourage their child in sport, but at the same time, keep academics side by side because sport is a very unpredictable career. You can get injured. Sometimes the finances, it can be hard to play a sport. And education will always give you that backing. So I think it's important to try playing a sport. And if you're good at it and you're really good at it, then you can consider it as an option. But I think it's great if you have the opportunity to do both with the support of your parents.
So it's all about the balance, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what would your message be to the young, enthusiastic athletes out there? They definitely look up to you. So I bet they're really looking forward to hearing from you.
Well, I would just say, you have to really work hard, be passionate about what it is that you love to do, and believe really, really hard in yourself. That no one has a choice. Like they have to believe in you too, and really, like nothing comes easy, and to never give up.
Yeah, never give up. Since the theme for our youth conference is Rising with Kindness, we would love for you to share a kindness story of yours on or off court. Yeah.
Oh, wow. There've been, if I start thinking about this, I'll actually start crying because there've been so many times where people have been so good to me, like when I've had nothing at all, when I've had no finances to play my game, and people have stood by me, they've supported me, not knowing whether I would make it in squash. So people's kindness when it comes to their support in my career, and people's kindness just because they want to be kind, it's just who they are, has really taught me that basically how you treat people is everything. And I try to imbibe that in my life where, we're all equal and we all deserve to be treated the way we want to be treated.
So true.
And yeah, just being kind to everyone, no matter where they come from.
Wow, yeah, that's so poignant. I guess as an end note, what would you tell the youths that are present here today? What is your take on the importance of kindness and how can we be kind to ourselves, each other, even the environment? So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's such a great topic to speak about. It's such a huge topic, kindness comes in all shapes, forms, behaviors, all of that. And I think it's important, like I said, I speak a lot about being kind to other people, but actually it's also important to be kind to yourselves. I find sometimes like I'm good to other people, but I'm horrible to myself. I'm hard on myself. I expect a lot, and if I don't live up to my expectations, like I can just be horrible. So I think it's important to value yourself, appreciate where you are in your life, appreciate all the work that you put in, and if it doesn't work out, it's okay. You got to go back, try harder, and definitely, what you put in will always come back to you.
Yeah, so true. Thank you so much for your time, and it's been such an insightful conversation, getting to know more about you, and the way you process things as such a athlete at such a high level. So I guess we could take this to the audience. And
Thank you so much.
And if there's anybody who wants to ask any question, I think. Okay, that's great.
Hello, Joshna ma'am. First of all, I would like to confess that I am really lucky to have witnessed this interview because you are one of the topmost players in the world. So it's my luck that I witnessed this interview. So thank you so much, ma'am. And the only one question I would like to ask you. This squash is very uncommon sports. So there are very few players in this sport. So what really made you choose this sports and what we can say your success mantras for means what has helped you to be where you are? That's my question.
Hi. How are you today?
Sorry.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Firstly, thank you. So I took up squash because my dad plays squash and he introduced the sport to me. But I was also playing tennis and badminton and other sports as well. And my parents sat me down one day and said that you can play any one sport because they didn't want me playing too many sports and not being serious about one sport. I ended up choosing squash because my father was my coach and I felt comfortable playing squash because he was there to guide me and he was like my mentor and somebody I really looked up to. And yeah, that's how I ended up taking up squash.
Is there anybody else in the audience who would like to ask? Okay.
I'm always so surprised when people ask me the questions. I'm like, why do you want to ask me?
Hello. Hi, Joshnadi.
Hi.
Yeah, this is Niranjan here. So firstly, thank you for your time here. So my question was, according to you, what is persistence and how much important is it? I feel that we learn more about life from the sports. So what is persistence according to you?
Hi, Niranjan.
Hi.
Thank you. So for me, I feel like all of us are challenged in our lives, in many different ways. Like not just me, I'm sure you are, everyone who's in, college, in school, like we're all being challenged by all kinds of situations. And for me, in my life, in my career, I feel like I love what I do. I love playing squash. My passion was always to play for India. So anytime I went through a hard time, I just realized I had to, go back, work harder, do things differently, whether it was like watch my diet, whether it was watch more squash matches, see where I can improve to be a better athlete. And that's what I try to do. But having said that, it is very difficult. Sometimes you don't want to do something because you feel bad that you're not where you're supposed to be. But I think it's important to keep pushing through and realize that you have so much to offer, so much to give, and to achieve your best, it doesn't come without hardships, and you have to keep pursuing it.
There's another question right there.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Rishanad Sheikh and I'm from Yavatmal, Maharashtra. Ma'am, we are a player. I'm also a player. I play the judo and I'm gold medalist in university trials. So, ma'am, my question is that when we play the game or when we connected to any sport, so how we manage our timetable to this time is only for the sport practices and this time only for our studies. So ma'am, I don't know about player but it's happened with me. हुआ ये कि जब मैं जूडो की प्रैक्टिस करती हूँ मैम, तब ऐसा फील होता है कि नहीं अभी और थोड़ा ज़्यादा कर लेते हैं ताकि इससे जो हमारा गेम है वो और स्ट्रांग हो. सो मैम जब हम ऐसे करते जाते तो हमारा टाइम पीरियड वो निकल जाता है, देन फिर टेंशन होती है एग्ज़ाम्स की. तो मतलब वी हाउ मैनेज द टाइम टेबल, दिस इज़ द ओनली फॉर द स्पोर्ट एंड दिस इज़ ओनली फॉर द स्टडीज़.
Hi. Congratulations. Obviously, if you're a gold medalist, you're very good at what you do.
Thank you.
I kind of faced this when I was in school, you know, trying to manage school, trying to manage exams, trying to manage my training. But I think it's important to get support from your school, you know, or your college, because I got support from my college where they kind of were flexible of what time I came to school or college, and because I told them I'm training in the morning and if I have to go for tournaments. So to be honest, I was very fortunate to have the support of my college to let me go play for tournaments. But they were very particular that when I came for exams, I had to pass my exams. So how to pass exams, I mean, that was a long time back for me. It was extremely hard, and I feel really, really sorry for you because it's not easy. But exams are very important, and it's important that you do well in school. And, you know, still, because you love what you do with judo, it's important to keep your training up as well. And then hopefully once you graduate, you can take a decision of whether to go take up judo seriously or take up your education more seriously.
Okay ma'am, thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been such a great and interactive session.
Shanti has one more question.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening. I want to ask you a question. Like, I play a lot of sports. I've gone to a lot of tournaments. So I've gone to one last week, actually. And then I'm a goalkeeper. I play football. So I left like 3 goals in the finals match. So, and we came runners up because of that, because of the goals I left. And then after we went back to school, people were very salty about because I got to play and they didn't, because I was the new guy in school. And then we also lost. So they thought it was all my fault, and they started giving me a lot of, I don't know if I should use this word, but they gave me a lot of shit, you know. So how do I take it? How do I deal with this?
Hey, so to be honest, I bet you didn't sleep for a few days after that.
No, I haven't slept in quite a while.
Because that's what usually happens when you lose or when you feel like it's your fault that it didn't go your way. It's like, I mean, I don't sleep for almost 3-4 days, and you just eat junk all night, and you know, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it's even harder when you come back to school and everyone, like you said, is just hating on you and, you know, making you feel worse than you already do, because you didn't lose those goals on purpose, right? Like somebody just played better that day, and I don't expect people to understand that who don't play sport the way you do. So I think it's important that you shut out the noise and only listen to people that, you know, understand the sport and genuinely want you to do better. So yeah, I would say just ignore the noise, because not everyone can do what you're doing, you know, being a goalkeeper, playing football at a high level. So just go back, work harder, learn where you made your mistakes, and hopefully you will not let that happen again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was such an insightful question. Is it? Okay, yeah.
Hello, my name is Vaibhav. I just wanted to ask you one thing. When you are playing with the best players in the world, while you are playing the match and the game goes to the last game and it is a decider, what is going inside your mind while you are playing the game?
Hi.
Hi.
So it's actually an interesting question because it goes to 5 quite often. And for me, what I'm thinking of is to get an early lead, you know, because when you get an early lead in the game, then you build more confidence and then you feel a little bit more relaxed. and then you're able to play your game a lot better. So that's the first thing I'm thinking of, is to try and get an early lead, like get up to 3, 4, so that I can feel more comfortable instead of putting unnecessary pressure on myself later on in the game.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and I'm really sorry to say that this will have to be the last question for this session. So thank you so much for such an insightful conversation, and it's been so interactive. And yet again, it's such an honor to have you here. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, and that was a really inspiring conversation between the two of you. We have a lovely video of Joshna that we'd like to share with everyone here.
Stroke question number 11-7. Championship question number 3 games to 1. 8-11.
Now I would like to call upon Captain Vineet Ranawat to felicitate Joshna Chinnappa. Before we move on to the next session, I would like to share a little something with you all. Most people are under the impression that the people who participate in meditation are the serious ones and don't have fun. But I can assure you that definitely isn't the case. I was here during the last Bhandara and met some really amazing people. They turned out to be homies, my heartful homies. So me, Athavat, the homies we have, started a podcast on Spotify called Kanha Talk. And now we're in some account called Heartful Homies. Because we talk to people from completely different walks of life. We discuss about science, music, spirituality, and goof around amongst ourselves. There's much more of it. Please make sure to check out hands. Thanks so much.
Well, we come to an end of panel discussion and guest talks for today, and there's a lot more in store tomorrow. But the day is far from over. Can I know in the crowd how many of you are visiting Kanha Shanti Vanam for the first time? Wow, that's a lot of hands. I'm sure you want to explore and experience Kanha Shanti Vanam, and we have a perfect gentleman to share that with you. Please join me in Captain Niranavat, who take.
A very good evening, dear friends. I am Sailor, a Captain Shri, and I am in Kanha Shanti Vanam since the last 5 years, working as a volunteer. Currently, I am appointed serving as a manager. At this place, I have learned much more than what I learned in traveling abroad. I have been to practically every country where it exists, except Australia. And I can relate that this place has been created with a Western mind and in heart. It is a marvel in itself. Can you guess the age of from the first stone when it was laid? 6 years. And have a place like this in 6 years is a vision of one man and thousands and millions of hands put together. So if we can create such an environment, such a wonderful place with very few heartfulness volunteers,
the natural path, or simply heartfulness. The inauguration of a large meditation hall at the heart of Kanha Shanti Vanam will commemorate 75 years of heartfulness. Work on this meditation hall started in 2017, and a dedicated team assisted by volunteers has worked tirelessly to make it ready. When a large group of people meditate together, a very special atmosphere is created. Everyone is invited to experience this at the special function being held to mark the inauguration. This will take place in late January and early February 2020. There is a community dining hall that serves free meals 3 times a day, apart from a cafeteria and a restaurant. Artists from India and overseas are collaborating on many initiatives, and a pottery studio has already been established. Experts from diverse fields like medicine, architecture, management, the arts, yoga, and communication are invited to conduct workshops, projects, and seminars here. Kanha Shanti Vanam is constantly evolving. Each one of us may have something to give to and something to. All of humanity is joined at the heart. All of us aspire to peace and happiness. Yet, our lives are often driven by stress, conflict, and unsustainable habits. This campus is an attempt to provide an alternative. Kanha Shanti Vanam belongs to us all. Everyone is invited to come home to Kanha.
So Kanha Shanti Vanam was a barren land when it was purchased. And we were wondering, a place like this, if an ashram or a center, a meditation center is built, how are we going to survive? It was in an area of Hyderabad, there were hardly any rains. And we were wondering why the pioneer, the leader, is sowing so many trees that today we have forests by Heartfulness here. And we forgot one very basic answer, that where there are trees, the rain is. Unlike the other way. And today we have a lot of rains. We have 5 ponds which are filled with water. Most of you would have seen it if you go around. I would request each one of you who have come here not to lose the opportunity, but kindly go around and explore Kanha. It is not just the material world what you see outside. Please see what Heartfulness also offers, which is a perfect balance of the material and the spiritual concepts. We all are writing our histories today. Each one of you will have a story to tell tomorrow, but it is in your hands. What should that story be? I, being a sailor, never knew. I was a youth like you, and there was always choices what to make, which is right, which is wrong. And I learned from the leaders that if you are choosing, if everybody is choosing to do the same thing, and if it is good for the humanity, do it for yourself. So probably that formed the base of how to make choices in life, because only then we can write our own stories, our own history in future. So Kanha has this world's largest meditation hall, which can host about 100,000 people, including all the satellites. And you can see we are right here enjoying its beauty and what it offers. There is a mega kitchen. If you have not seen, you're welcome to visit there. See how food is cooked for all of us through steam boilers. If you go to the wellness center on the right side, the south side, you'll see the Ayurveda treatment thing. There is a wonderful school which is there till CBSE 12 standard. We have our in-house coaching center which teaches us IIT JEE coaching. So there is much more to explore than what is visible. Also, I would request you all to visit the Yatra Garden, which is open till 6 p.m. It's right behind the hall. There will be a QR code which you can scan, and it will tell you what is a yatra, the journey of the soul, and its beautiful meaning which is depicted in the buildings, in all those monuments there. There are forests which are called Amazon forests. Those species which do not grow anywhere other than the Western Ghats, they also are grown here, artificially through rain guns. So Kanha offers one of the best places where rain harvesting systems have been designed, improved, and not even a drop which falls here goes out. So please explore for yourself. I would request another video to be played. So we'll listen to what the others have to say besides me.
I feel so light, relaxed, and the atmosphere here is so like, as soon as I entered the premises, I was surrounded with positivity, which is what everyone needs in their life.
This campus, Kanha Shanti Vanam, presents a model of holistic living.
जो मैंने हृदय के अंतरतल से, हृदय के अभ्यंतर से जो अनुभव किया कि यहाँ पर योग और अध्यात्म की मूल आत्मा है।
What I have seen has absolutely blown me away. What I'm seeing here is a community that would be envy of any community in the world. It is so incredibly beautiful, firstly, the beauty of its architecture, schools, auditoriums, libraries, the landscaping, the integration between nature and buildings. There is just something breathtaking about the way it's been done, and in an ecologically friendly and sustainable way.
So for me, I think this place resonates with a lot of positivity. I've been here in the last year maybe about 8 to 10 times, and the longing to come back here is quite higher than the number of times I've actually come here.
ये शांतिवनम बाबूजी की सीख का जीता जागता उदाहरण है।
This place is open to all. It's not only
Daaji ka hai.
like to meditate. So
So as Daaji, our president, has mentioned, this place is not just for the members. It is yours now. This is your first visit, and you're always welcome to come here with your friends and families. Stay here for 3 to 5 days. Enjoy the atmosphere. Please take the essence of heartfulness every time you come here. Learn how to meditate, which is offered free of cost. And these small bits will help us transform and create a better future together for all of us. I thank you all for joining me on this short trip, and I leave you all to explore the outside as well as the inside while you're in the campus. Thank you all for joining me.
Thank you so much, Vinit Bhaiya. The Vinit Bhaiya is a complete, total in charge of the complete property. He looks after each and every part of Kanha Shanti Vanam. And he is the one who is keeping all of us comfortable, giving us food on time, breakfast on time. It's his team which is working day and night to keep all of us happy. A big round of applause for Vinit Ranawat Bhaiya. Now let's come to last instructions. Tomorrow morning, first session starts at 8:30 the QR code will start, and many people came and told me there is Wi-Fi problem, there is no QR code working, there is this, there is that. Absolutely don't worry. Even if you try to register in the QR code, you are getting recognized. That is what our IT team is telling us. Okay, so don't worry, only follow the timing of QR codes and log in that time. Now I think our QR code team members are here. Yes? Ready? QR code? So let's do the checkout QR code for the day 1. Day 1 QR code checkout. Faculty members, vice chancellors, HODs are requested to report at 7 p.m. evening for a networking dinner. All the faculty members, HODs, vice chancellors are requested to report at 7 evening for a networking dinner. We meet here in the night at 8:30 for Dil Se with Daaji. All of you are requested to join at 8:30 for Dil Se with Daaji and a meditation session. With that, we close our today's evening. So after dinner, all are requested to come to the meditation hall for Dil Se with Daaji. So students, if you have questions, you can ask questions directly to Daaji. He will also answer your questions and will conclude with evening meditation. 8:30 tonight, reporting back at the meditation hall for Dil Se with Daaji. The QR code was displayed. Okay, it's displayed now. After dinner, everybody have to come here in the meditation hall exactly at 8:15 or 8:30. Final session for the day is Dil Se with Daaji. And you can ask him questions directly. He'll be spending time with all of you. So have dinner fast and report back to meditation session at 8:30 in the night. In the evening also there's QR code because it's a total 30 hours program is what we are working on. So we need to cover all the hours in this 3 days time. So please follow the timeline. 30 hours in 3 days, it's a challenging activity, but still we are trying to squeeze in as much as possible. 2 hours is for Kanha exploration. You all can go around and see Kanha, have dinner and come back here at 8:30 for Dil Se with Daaji. And the QR code will open at 8:15, 8:30 in the night and will close at 9:30 in the night, tonight. 30-hour session, credit course, completion is a big challenge, so kindly cooperate in completing that task for the certification program. All the faculty members to report at 7 at the left side of my hand, and you have to be there at conference hall for networking dinner. So all are requested to report here at 8 o'clock in the night. So have early dinner. Reporting time is 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock reporting time.